Hello everyone, I am Dr. Vikram Joshi, faculty member, Department of Management Technology, Shri Ramdev Baba College of Engineering and Management, Nagpur. Welcome to the lecture on the topic log linear regression model. Now, log linear regression model, the name itself suggests, or the name itself indicates that when we are taking a regression equation or a regression model, the left hand side variable is the logarithmic variable and the right hand side variable is the linear variable or simple variable. So such type of models are used when we are dealing with the variables wherein we are interested in finding or estimating the growth rates. For example, the growth rate of population, the growth rate of GNP, that is gross national product, supply of money in the market, etc. So such type of models are having such type of form. And for example, if we take the example of compound interest formula, so compound interest formula is given by the formula yt is equal to y0 into 1 plus r to the power t, where r is the compound rate of growth of y and yt is nothing but the value at time t and y0 is the initial value. So if we take the logarithm of both the sides of this model, then we can write this model as log of yt is equal to log of y0 plus t into log of 1 plus r. So here r is the rate of interest, which is nothing but a constant value or the variable, and that is why if we take this log of 1 plus r is equal to beta and log of y0 as beta 1, then this equation can be written as log of yt is equal to beta 1 plus t into beta 2 into t. So this is called as the log linear regression. Now in this log linear regression, this beta 2 is the semi-elasticity coefficient, or we can call this as the slope coefficient. Now how to interpret such type of models? So here slope coefficient beta 2, it measures the constant proportional or relative change in y for a given absolute change in the value of the regressor, and in this case it is the value of t. So here t is expressed in absolute terms and y is taken in relative terms. So in this function or in this functional form, this beta 2 is interpreted as 1 unit change in x will cause a beta into 100% change in y. This type of growth rate, or this is the growth rate, or it is also called as the semi-elasticity. For example, if the estimated coefficient of that equation is say beta 2 is say 0.05, it means that a 1 unit increase in x will generate 5% increase in y. So if we multiply this value by 100, we will get 5%. So 1 unit change in x causes 100 into beta 2% change in y. This is how we always interpret the variables or interpret the model on the basis of log linear regression. Now we will discuss this with the help of some example. Now let us come to the example. So in this Excel sheet, you can find the various values. For example, first column represents the year, so various values corresponding to different year are given here, corresponding to sales, then prices, then competitors price, advertisement, expenditure, etc. Now here the sales values are expressed in thousands of rupees, the price is measured in rupee terms and they are relatively lower values. Then competitor price is also comparatively lesser or at lower side. Then advertisement expenditure is in hundreds of rupees, so they are also not very high amounts. So if we see to this data, here it is written, it is asked fit a model to forecast percentage change in sales with respect to time. So we have to first forecast what the percentage change. So here percentage change in sales, so these are the sales values which are expressed in absolute terms, in rupee terms, but we are asked to fit a model to forecast percentage change in sales, and that is with respect to time. Now time means here year, these are giving you the values of the time, but we cannot take these values as it is. So what we will do, here we will compute the values corresponding to the time. So for corresponding to 2001, we will write the value of time as 1, then 2, and then subsequent values will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now the time is changing by 1 unit, and accordingly the sales are changing. So we need to forecast the sales with respect to time. So how, according to the trend, how the sales are changing, that we want to forecast. And secondly, also fit a model to estimate significant variables influencing sales and draw the inferences. So here we want to find out the other influencing variables, then also perform the diagnostic test for testing the goodness of fit of the model. So we have to not only fit a model, but also we want to, or we need to discuss, or we need to perform certain diagnostic tests to identify the most suitable model. So these are some of the tasks in hand, and now we will try to use log linear regression model to address these various questions. Now the same data is presented here in the worksheet. Now we will upload this worksheet in R Commander. So click on data, import data from Excel file. I name this as dataset 1. OK. So the file is opening. So log linear regression, then problem 1 data. OK. Now here data set 1 is appearing. We can view the data. So here you can view the data. So all the variables are incorporated in the data set. Now we'll perform the first task. Now we need to first of all fit a model of percentage change in sales with respect to time. So we need to first take the logarithm of sales. So here we can do that by, so go into the data, manage variables in active data set, compute new variable. Now here I select sales, then I name this variable as ln sales, that is logarithm of sales. The expression I use is natural log of sales. OK. Now you can view in dataset whether this variable is added or not. So you can see here this ln sales is added here. Now we proceed for fitting a regression model. So click on statistics, fit models, click on regression analysis, then response variable is log of sales, and then t value, that is time value, will take as independent variable and click OK. So here you can see the output is generated for this model, and here your dependent variable is log of sales and independent variable is time. So this is the regression output. You can see that the intercept value is 9.34176. corresponding to this t value and p value. P value is significant at 1% level of significance. Time coefficient is minus 0.050171, and it is also significant because p value is less than 0.01. So at 1% level of significance, we can say that intercept and time both are significant. If you check the R square, here you can see that R square value is 0.6436. that means this time explains 64.36% influence on the percentage sales. Then F value is 25.29 and corresponding T value is also 0.00018, which is less than 0.01. So we can say that the model fulfills the criteria of goodness of fit, since F value, the P value corresponding to F value is very low. Also the coefficients are significant corresponding to intercept as well as the time. Now how we can interpret this model? So we can say that 1 unit change in time, that is if the time period increases by 1, then the sales value decreases by 5.171%, because here we multiply this coefficient by 100 whenever we are interpreting about the relative change in the value of sales, because we are interpreting the sales in terms of percentages because of the logarithmic sales value. So time is not logarithmic, but sales are logarithmic. So time is in absolute terms, sales is in relative terms. So 1 unit change in time leads to 5.17% decline in sales. That means the sales are showing the sales is showing the declining trend. This is what we can interpret on the basis of this particular output that we have obtained. So since we can see here that both the values are significant at 1% level of significance, R square is also moderately high, then goodness of fit criteria is also fulfilled. So as such, diagnostic tests are not needed for this particular model. So this is called as the log linear model. Now the second thing here, also fit a model to estimate significant variables influencing the sales. So we need to fit a model to estimate significant variables, not non-significant variables. So significant variables influencing the sales, and then we are supposed to draw the inferences. Now for this matter, what we can do, we will keep this price in absolute terms, we will keep competitors price also in absolute terms, and we will keep advertisement also in absolute terms, but this will keep in relative terms because these values are very big. So it is always better to express these values in percentage terms. So whenever we are having such type of data, we must first understand the data, and then we should take the decision first whether we want to interpret something in percentages or in terms of its absolute value, that is in terms of its units. So if we want to express something in percentages, you convert this into logarithmic form. If you want to keep something in absolute terms, you can keep it here likewise, or you can keep those values as it is in absolute terms. Now again we'll go to the R commander. The data set is already existing, already it is there. So click on the statistics, then fit the model. Again linear regression. Now we'll keep this value as it is, and we'll select. Now we'll deselect this time, and now I am selecting. First value is price, second value is competitors price, and third one is advertisement expenditure, and then I click OK. So this model is regression model number 2. Now here you can see that intercept is significant, advertisement expenditure or advertisement is not significant, but competitors price is significant at 5% level of significance, because here 1 star is shown, so 1 star is corresponding to 0.05, or you can see the value of probability. Since this value is 0.02, it is greater than 0.01 but less than 0.05, so we can infer on the basis of this that competitors price is significant at 5% level of significance. Then price is also significant at 1% level of significance. So here this value advertisement expenditure or advertisement is not significant. So when some value is not significant, there is no point in keeping that particular value in the regression model, because that value does not contribute anything with regard to making the estimation. And here you can see that the coefficient is also almost equals to 0, and here multiple R squared is 0.7589. so even though p value is significant, but since this is not significant, this will mislead the researcher when he is trying to make the forecast. So it is always better to eliminate such variables. So again we'll go into fitting the model, fit the models, linear, and now we'll take only 2 variables, one is price and other is competitors price, and again click OK. Now as soon as you click OK, you will get another output. So here we got regression model number 3. Here you can see that sales is expressed in percentages, but competitor price and price, they are in the absolute terms. Now here you can see that all the values are significant. The p value corresponding to intercept, then competitors price and the price, they are all significant at 1% or 5% level of significance. Also p value corresponding to F statistics is significant. Now here R square is 0.075. If we compare this with the previous, here the value is 0.7589 and here the value is 0.757. That means this value is not changing drastically. There is only a small or marginal change in the value of multiple R squared. That means even if we eliminate the advertisement, there is these 2 variables, they are explaining 75.7% influence on the percentage sales values. So here we can say that if the company increases the price by 1 rupee, then 1 unit or 1 rupee, then the sales of the company are likely to fall by 56.24, because we need to multiply this by 100. So if I multiply this by 100, the value will become 56.24. Now here you can see that the prices are changing at very marginal, by very marginal amounts. So if the price increases or decreases by 1 rupee, 1 unit, that will be a very big change. So we can say that if company increases the price or decreases the price by 1 unit, then by 56.24% the sales value is going to get affected. Similarly, competitor's price. Now if competitor increases the price by 1 unit or 1 rupee, then the sales of the company will increase by 39.45%. That means consumers are very highly elastic with regard to, we can say, the prices of the commodities. So consumers are highly price sensitive with regard to this particular product. So if we look at these variables and their signs and all these things, everything is going with the theory, and hence as such diagnostic tests are not needed, because we are getting sufficient evidence to decide whether the model is appropriate or not. But still, if you want to test or make the diagnostic tests, then as I said, you calculate the residuals. Then so if you calculate the residual, how to calculate this? Add observation statistics to data. Here remove all the other selected attributes, keep only residual, and OK. So this residual will now get added. Residual is nothing but the difference between the actual sales and estimated sales values. Then go into the graphs, click on graph, histogram, and you plot the histogram for this residual. So if you plot this, you will see that the histogram, here the histogram you can see. Now if I assume a hypothetical normal curve, so this curve, if I plot a normal curve, so this normal curve will go like this, so approximately. So we can say that this, so the distribution is normally distributed because the shape of the histogram appears to be normal. So this is one diagnostic test that you can perform. Similarly, you can also, now as such I don't think that there will be any issue with regard to multicollinearity. Then you can even perform some other diagnostic, like basic diagnostic tests. Normal QQ plot you can see for this matter. Now here residual line is there, and the points are not very much away from this particular line. So this is how we are getting, there are only few points which are going far away, but rest of the other points are near to this line. Secondly, normal QQ plot, so all the points are expected to be near this diagonal dotted line. So as we can see here that all the points are almost closer to this line, we can say that residuals are normally distributed. So this is one more test that you can, diagnostic test that you can perform. So this is the model which we have plotted, this model we have formulated. Now we can even go with testing for logarithm of advertisement. So even if you take logarithmic value of the advertisement, still you may get similar type of results. Compute new variable. Now instead of so I take advertisement, then I name this as LN advertisement. Again here instead of sales I make it advertisements. Okay, so I think this variable is not, yes it is there, LN advertisement. So now what we'll do, we'll take this value as it is, then I take ln advertisement, then I take price and competitors price. Okay, so again what I see here is that ln advertisement is not significant, and even because of this intercept is also not significant. So if I eliminate this, already the model with other price and competitors price we have established, and hence we can conclude that this advertisement is not significant. Even we can try another versions, bivariate relationship, wherein we can fit the model only for ln sales, and here instead of taking this I take only ln advertisement, and OK. So here you can see that intercept is significant but ln advertisement is not significant, and multiple r squared is also 0.09, which is around say 9%. Right, now if I take linear regression of ln sales, and instead of this I take advertisement only, still you can see that here advertisement is having almost 0 value, and r squared is again 0.08, and this value is not significant. That means after all these various diagnostic tests, we can come to the conclusion that this model which we have fitted for ln sales, that is logarithmic value of sales, log of sales, versus competitors price plus price. So when we are taking these two variables, then these values are significant, all the criteria are fulfilled, whatever we want to test for the sake of goodness of it, and this model can be taken as the most appropriate model. So whatever tasks we were asked to perform, that we have performed, and also we have performed the diagnostic tests for testing for the goodness of fit of the model. So this is all about the log linear regression model. So hope I cleared all your difficulties and doubts with regard to how to fit log linear regression model. So thank you very much for your patient listening. Bye.